Hello and welcome to the Dragon and the Phoenix podcast, where we're not afraid to explore the paranormal, dish on pop culture, and just be our weird and wonderful selves. We'll be coming to you each week with our thoughts and experiences on a variety of topics we find interesting. So make sure to smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Without further ado, let's meet my co-host, the Dragon. Dragon, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, I am known as the Crypt Dragon or the Crypt Keeper. But tonight I have decided to reveal my actual name. My first name is Craig with a K. I'm one of those special kids with a special spelling of my name. I was one of those kids when you go to the gift shop and you could not find a personalized keychain. I couldn't find my name, but that's okay. I am also, of course, the owner of Dragon's Crypt, which is what the channel's name is. I am a woodworker and a artist. So I combine the two, and that's what makes Dragon's Crypt. I'm really into the paranormal and cryptids, all that stuff, everything that's weird. And then I'm mostly into nature. My hobbies are fishing, and then of course woodworking, which is kind of bad to have a hobby and business-wise, but that's okay. But and also I was a Twitch streamer. So I came from Twitch. I'm a former Twitch streamer. So I'm kind of used to being on camera like this. Sometimes I will mess up. That's common for a Twitch streamer, as some people know. I was an art streamer, so I usually did traditional art, stuff like that. So now I'm here on YouTube to show what I actually do for a living and show my life.
And also, you're my younger brother. I never say little brother because you're like 6'7", 6'8".
Yes, that's
so
true.
It's never little, it's younger brother.
Yeah.
Well, Craig, I'm excited to be doing this with you. We've obviously known each other your whole life, and we share a lot of interests. I am also an artist. My art is actually kind of my job. I am a graphic designer and web designer for a nonprofit organization. But that's more like what I do and not who I am. I'm a mom. I just adopted a daughter with my husband this last Christmas, which makes Craig an uncle, which is awesome. He's a great uncle. And I am a dog mom. I have 2 dogs who drive me nuts, but I love them dearly. I'm a coach. I coach middle school basketball, middle school volleyball at a local school, which I love. I played 3 sports growing up in high school. So it was just a natural thing for me after college to get into coaching. And I also am very into the paranormal. I like to say I'm Indiana Jones at heart. I love anthropology and treasure hunting and things like that. And you will not find a bigger Star Wars nerd than me. My whole house is decorated with Star Wars. I have almost all my clothes have Star Wars on them. So I'm a big Star Wars fan, huge movie buff. And we're definitely going to be getting into a lot of that during this podcast. Craig, I wanted to ask you why you wanted to have this podcast, what you hope people get out of it.
Well, why I created this podcast is, one, I like to talk to somebody, talk about, what's going on in the world and what people don't usually like to talk about and stuff like that. Also, I'm mostly a stay-at-home person, so I don't really like go out and talk to people, but the people I usually see weekly or some friends, but I don't get to talk to people anymore. And then I also love the podcast idea of just spreading your opinions or experiences that you've had to other people so they can hear it as well. I've always been big fans of podcasts. I hope people enjoy this podcast, just to kind of show our lives. I mean, I would say we would have very curious lives. A lot of people don't know a lot about, like me, especially, and Heather. So that's what I hope they get out of it.
Well, I think people are going to learn a lot about us through this podcast, learn a lot about, I hope, the world that surrounds us and some of the mysteries in it. We can talk a little bit now about that first episode and maybe tease what's coming up there. Our first episode is titled The Ghosts Among Us. It will be on the paranormal, on the phenomenon of ghosts. And this is something, Craig, that I think we could probably do about 90 episodes about just our experiences alone.
Yes, I agree with that. Growing up, especially in which I still live in the house, and I would say our area is very active. Let's put it that way. I occasionally joke on my Facebook page. I always call there is something happening in my shop. I always nickname Casper. I actually haven't found out who they are, or I haven't contacted them, but I will be doing investigations, as you would call it, to try to figure out who it is. So yeah, we do have a lot of experiences between you and me, doing having ghost experiences, especially. We'll throw a little tease out there, like going to Michigan, staying at a house with no air conditioning. I had probably one of the scariest experiences for me. We'll just say it was quite jumping for me, but yeah, it's paranormal is a big deal in our family.
It is. It's something people don't talk about a lot, about those personal experiences, those things that they sometimes have and then try to push off as something else. But there's a lot of things that can't be explained. One of my first experiences was when I was really young at our grandparents' house. And so we'll talk about that, that's for sure. We'll talk about the spirit that's in my current house, I believe, because there are definitely things that go on that I can't explain. That's our next episode. That'll be episode 1. We'll be looking at ghosts and sharing our experiences. We've got other episodes lined up that include Bigfoot. I know that's one of our favorite cryptids.
Yes.
And we've also got episodes coming up on dreams and on Star Wars. Obi-Wan Kenobi's series will be wrapping up later this month. So we're going to talk about that. I know we're both digging that right now. So there's a lot of exciting things ahead.
Yes, there is. And I'm very excited about especially the topics that you picked, talking about dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, dinosaurs.
Really nice. Yes, and especially the Obi-Wan series, which I know mostly you'll be talking about because I know how much of a Star Wars person you are. But I can have some insight into that too. But yes, I'm excited to see the future episodes. Yeah, there could be extra episodes too of like the ghosts and the aliens and that, but we'll just start out with shorter ones. But yeah, it's going to be fun, I think. So.
And I can't wait to get to our dreams episode because I guarantee you I have one of the scariest dream stories that you're ever going to hear. Well, Craig, I think we are about ready to wrap up this episode. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the Dragon and the Phoenix, available here on Dragon's Crypt YouTube channel and on all your favorite podcast platforms. Also, make sure to follow us on our social media channels, which you will see down here. I think that's it for this week. Before we go, though, we want to leave you with a thought. On previous podcasts that I've done, I've always closed with a tagline. But for this podcast, I really wanted to find something more personal to Craig and I. We named the podcast The Dragon and the Phoenix because those are two symbols that are really important to us. They symbolize a lot of things for us. They're our favorite kind of cryptids, but also for what they mean. Obviously, the phoenix symbolizes being born again, rising again, coming up from the ashes. The dragon is strength and power and tradition. So in that spirit, we've come up with a tagline we hope you like. So until we see you next time, rise up
and breathe fire.
All right. Bye, guys.